first thing we're going to do is we're going to do a roast beef sandwich. It's kind of a play or a spoof on a kind of an Arby's. So we have actually our roast beef, which I'll talk about real quick. So these come packed frozen 2-pound portions, right? We're using a 5-ounce portion. So you get about 6 and some change out of one portion or out of one bag. That being said, this can be thawed, portioned, right, and used from a thawed state, or then refrozen. And then when you need them, so we're going to microwave this for a couple seconds and then go on the flat top, and or from frozen, again, you can microwave it just to heat it through and then go into the flat top. It's going to consist of 3 different sauces. I already know what you're thinking. So this is our horseradish, Dijon horseradish sauce, the one we use in the store already. Cheese sauce out of the kitchen. And this is actually kind of, we're calling it a special sauce, but again, sort of a spoof on an Arby's sauce. We have an onion roll, which will be toasted. Unfortunately, I won't be able to do that today, just on the flat top. And then onion tanglers. These have already been cooked, just because I have enough faith that you can, you know, fry onion tanglers. These can be made in advance if you're selling or moving a lot of them, busy periods, those sort of things. So we're going to get to it. It's the first thing you're going to do. We're going to microwave one of these for approximately 30 seconds from frozen for about 45 seconds. All we're looking to do is just get a little bit of heat on it because it cooks really quick. All we're trying to do is get it to 165 on the flat top, which we'll do afterwards. When you do portion them, I highly recommend you just don't put in like a, if Ian can take a look here at the roast beef, you can see how it's pretty easy to kind of take a slab out of it and kind of like a steak. But it's best if you portion it and it's very kind of random and folded and those kind of things for when it goes onto the flat top. Okay, so we have our roast beef, microwave for again about approximately 30 seconds, just enough to get the chill off of it. We're going to blast it on the flat top, light prep for 15 seconds. All we're trying to do is just a little bit of color, make sure it's heated through. We're not trying to like overcook it, render it out, because it is slightly processed, so all that moisture, it'll shrivel, we'll get some shrinkage, and we're trying to avoid that as much as possible. If you have to separate them, that's fine. We'll lightly toast our roll. Again, you'll be running it through the toaster. Okay, assembly. This is where everyone's probably going to hate me. Secret sauce, special sauce, Arby's sauce, whatever we want to call it, in the back of the house. So, decent amount. Probably about 3/4 of an ounce to an ounce. Nice pal, right? We don't want it to be flat. Trying to build like some natural height to it. This is where it gets a little messy. So now we're going to hit it with a little bit of horseradish, then and approximately an ounce of cheese sauce. You'll see it kind of it drapes over, so you don't need a whole lot. And we're going to be taking a picture of this, so we're going to make it nice and pretty. So 1 ounce of fried onions. Again, these are prepared exactly how we've done them before. Approximately 2 minutes in the fryer till golden brown and crispy. And then we're going to pick it, serve with the side, and we're done. Don't smash the sandwich. You want some natural height to it. You want it to look like, you know, folks are getting their money's worth, obviously. So that's the end result. So next we're going to be preparing our pierogies. So these are going to be offered in multiple ways, I guess. So they're going to be an add-on, so a $4 add-on. They'll also be available as a side, which there will be a slight upcharge for. And there's also going to be a full order version, so it could be viewed as an appetizer, or if somebody just wants an entire plate of pierogies. So how we're going to handle that as a side and an add-on are going to be 1 portion, which is 8. and a full portion is going to be 2. Prepared exactly the same way, just obviously a slightly different portion, larger portion versus smaller portion. So we have our pierogies. When you portion them, you will have to add 1 ice cube. We're looking to generate some steam, so we just don't want them to dry in the microwave. So 1 ice cube per portion. We're going to microwave them for approximately 1 minute. We're just trying to get chill off of them, kind of make sure they're thawed and whatnot. So yeah, we'll go from there. All right, so we have our microwaved, what are they called? Pierogies, right? So we're going to go now onto the flat top with a little bit of prep. The idea is here that we're trying to get some caramelization, a little bit of crunchy crispiness to them. A little bit of dust. And you're basically just going to leave them cook on one side, flip them, again, get a little bit of crust, a little bit of caramelization on the other side. And then we're going to bowl them and we'll go from there. Okay, so you can see these have spent about 2, maybe 3 minutes on the flat top. We're just looking to get some of this color and whatnot, and the dust actually helps with that, forming a little bit of a crust or crunchy or, you know, caramelization kind of thing. So we're going to serve side or add-on into the side bowls. A full order will go onto a sandwich plate. So we're going to use some Cook's onions. I'm going to serve with a side of sour cream. This is at all times, so whether it's a side, an add-on, or a full order, sour cream, and then a little bit of the dried chive. And that's the pierogi. One of the last items here is we're going to do a chicken parm. So this is actually going to be a traditional or more true chicken parm than what we're serving. So no chicken tenders, no bites, none of those kind of things, no pre-bred products. We're going to start by using our Italian chicken, which we'll get into a little bit here. We're going to actually have to pound this product. We're just looking to basically even it out. So we ensure even cooking, quicker, faster cooking, presentation, tenderness, all those things we'll accomplish when we pound it. So then the next thing would be after we have the chicken pounded, again, which we will demonstrate, is going to be pre-dip Italian breadcrumbs. So this is an additional product. This is not. This is what we're currently using for our chicken. Additional product, a little bit drier, toasted as you can see compared to like a white breadcrumb. And so this is going to require a little bit more attention and or cooking, if you will. Hot marinara, shredded mozz, spaghetti, a little bit of dry parsley just for garnish. The spaghetti, which we'll get into a little bit more, this is obviously dry product that we're cooking, portioned 5 ounces. You are able to keep it in fresh state or cooked state. We're able to freeze it and microwave it for about a minute 20, minute 30 seconds, just till it gets hot, and that's it. This will actually be microwaved for about a minute as it is. So you have that option if you're using up product. We will use this. This will give us the opportunity or the ability to make our spaghetti salad for the bar, or use this in place of penne for our current pasta salad. So here we have our Italian chicken, and this is actually a pretty good example of what we're going to see in the bags. You can see this one's actually pretty even. That's kind of what we're looking for in the finished form, even though I may just hit this a little bit just to make sure. You can see this one's substantially thicker. The lobes are substantially thicker here than the tips on these, right? So all we're looking to do, if I can get my hands to work, we'll be good. I'm just going to use one piece of saran wrap for now, right? So I'm just going to give this one a little bit of a pound. This one's going to require a little bit more. Notice how I'm not hitting the top part here. So again, we're just looking for an even piece of chicken. Increase surface area, decrease cook time, increase appearance, all those good things. So breading procedure, just like our current chicken, except we're using breadcrumb instead of the breaded, right? So into the pre-dip. You can use whatever pans work for you. For today's purposes, I decided to go half pans. So just looking for complete coverage. So we're going to go into the deep fryer. The cleaner the deep fryer, the better. This product will cook and darken a little bit quicker because of the type of breadcrumb we're using. Drop the basket. Go into the fryer. So placing this in the fryer, we're not going to be able to achieve a total doneness. So again, it's chicken, so 165 degrees. So what we're looking for is basically to get the crust formed, perfect color, right? So we're going to attempt this just to prove it out. But because of the type of breadcrumb we're using, you're never going to achieve, to get that perfect color and to get the temperature, you will not be able to achieve it. The product will end up being burnt on the outside and the product being done on the inside. Yeah, so what we'll do at this point, we'll transfer to a steel, whatever size steel you have. We're going to finish and bake it in the oven to 165 degrees.
A few minutes later.
So this is the chicken parm that was in the oven. So we're now temping out. Marinara sauce, approximately 2 ounces. And then we're going to do an ounce of shredded mozzarella, sprinkled on top. It's actually probably a little less than you think it would be. And then we're going to go back in the oven, or the salamander, depending if yours is functional and if you have that piece of equipment. But either one's acceptable. So we're just going to go back in the oven. All we're looking for is a good melt and a little bit of browning on top of the Parmesan, or mozzarella, pardon me. So here we have our portioned 5-ounce spaghetti. Been microwaved for a minute. This could vary depending on how many orders, your specific microwave, but generally speaking, 1 minute. And like I said before, this is, you're able to portion, freeze, and microwave from frozen depending on your movement, those kind of things. So we're going to do a nice pile. Basically, just dump the bag out, keep it in a nice pile. We're going to hit it with some hot marinara, about 5 ounces. We do want a little residual. Then we're going to take our hot, cheese melted, gooey chicken parm. So you can see the cheese is completely melted, kind of blending in with the cheese or the sauce a little bit. Maybe a little bit longer as far as on the gold or on the browning of the cheese, but generally speaking, that's the minimum we're looking for. And all we're going to do, like do just a little bit off center. You see it's a pretty large piece of chicken, pretty impressive looking as far as I'm concerned. And then we're going to hit it with just a little bit of dried parsley. And that's the end of it. So last thing we're making today is a cheesecake for dessert. We're going to start obviously with our cups. This is just graham cracker like we would normally do with our cheesecake. It's actually going to be a fairly simple one, fairly straightforward. We have our cheesecake ingredients. We're going to be making a half recipe today, as long as the mixer cooperates. So it's our basic standard cheesecake recipe, and then what we're adding is, you can see here, it's an apple pie spice. So it's basically very similar to pumpkin pie spice, except it's a little bit different ratios of things like clove and nutmeg and cinnamon. So that's going to incorporate into the cheesecake mix when we're making it. Gives you a little bit of an eggnog flavor. And then we're going to top that with some of our apples. These are just the apples that we use on the bar. You know, a couple slices, a little bit of the sauce. So kind of a little bit of a play on the caramel apple kind of situation. And I don't have it out because I don't want it to go bad or fall, but then we're going to top with a little bit of whipped cream. And so we're going to get at it. It's going to make our cheesecake. Again, as long as it all fits, we'll be okay. Here we go. So now we're going to assemble the dessert. You can see this is again, just our cheesecake recipe, prepared exactly the same with the addition of the apple pie spice. What's that stuff called? Graham cracker. So we're just going to do your, you know, quarter cup-ish of cheesecake. Whether you use a spoon, a scoop, a piping bag, whatever your means to an end is fine. And then this is just our cinnamon apples, bagged cinnamon apples. So when I have about 3 to 4 good pieces of apple, I'm going to do 4, depending on the sizes. A little bit of sauce, and we'll finish these real quick. And again, whatever you determine or decide you want to use, whether it be a scoop, the goal is to get 3 to 4 apple slices with a little bit of residual sauce, a little bit of whipped cream. And that's it. Tastes like eggnog with cinnamon apples. Good stuff. Yay!